Can you understand why a man threw an egg at you?
Hang on, just give your bloody brain a chance.
What in the name of all that's holy were you thinking when you said, let's put a bus lane on the M4?
How many people get annoyed at that when they come down to 3 and they come down to 2?
Public
come on,
meeting.
put your hands up. You know they are, and they
John,
get bloody well pissed off with
down.
it.
Sit down. Right.
Hey, they're cheering for me, not you.
All right, fair enough. You only had one Jack.
I had one house I owned and one car.
Hey, that's an area I wouldn't get into. 2 houses with employees.
Hey, that is the reality. That is the reality. You don't want to face the facts, do you?
Lord
I knew I'd get that from you, bloody motorist.
Sit down.
My big brothers were Keith Moon, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. I can go right down the list of everybody that died at 27 years old.
And they were all friends of yours?
Yeah, and I was trying to keep up with them. I was the little brother trying to keep up with them, and I mean, it almost got me.
Who was the biggest?
Oh, no, nobody can compete with Keith Moon.
So, did you ever go on one of Keith's benders?
Yeah. We had a drinking club called the Hollywood Vampires, and it was Bernie Taupin and Harry Nilsson. And
they don't sound like big drinkers.
And, oh, no, very, very big. This was like last man standing kind of drinking.
Really?
Know? Yeah. Every night, though. Every single night. And really the only excuse was we wanted to see what Keith was going to wear. Because one night he would be Hitler, one night he would be the Queen. But I'm talking about full out.
Yeah.
You know. But he enjoyed that so much. He enjoyed being the class clown more than anybody in the world. And everybody loved him. There was nobody, every single person in rock and roll loved Keith Moon.
That's true. Did you ever feel the need, though, to hide from him?
I had to, because it would get to a point where I'd go, somebody'd say, Keith's in town, and I'd go, oh, jeez, you know, I have 2 shows this week. I got to make sure he doesn't find us. But I mean, everybody knew that he was either going to go to your house or Harry's house or somebody's house. And that was the end of that week.
Let me show you one.
What?
Stand up again. None of this is going to make the show.
Yes,
he does this thing.
It'll make your
it's
Twitter.
like isometrics crossed with movement and Pilates.
Is this basically punching each other in the face?
No.
Oh, is it slapping?
No, it's not slapping. That's not an exercise.
It is.
It's not. Right. Put your hands outside mine, right?
Outside.
Now you're going to clap and I'm going to vary the resistance. So it's a known exercise. Okay, go
You
ahead.
sure this isn't just something you do with Jane?
Just clap your hands together. Right.
Well, this isn't very interesting.
No, but you're getting... Now I'm going to move my hands up.
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you like up, high up, have your head.
Marines, if he beats me, come and kill him.
Go on, you can do one more. Go on.
What? It's not difficult. I'm massively strong.
You're not...
I'm hugely strong.
His nipples are wet. But it's hard. You see what I'm saying? You don't need weights.
Well, I haven't got any.
I know. Well,
I've got some here. I'm sweating quite badly now.
You are sweating, aren't you? Well, imagine, he makes me do... He's a big guy. He's very muscly. He's got very, very soft hands. Very nice soft hands. And while I'm doing the press-up, he'll hold my head down. Which took me back to my honeymoon.
Have you got one of those Pilates... No, what's it called? Power plates.
Yes!
What a stupid thing!
Yes!
Because if you stand on it, it shakes your brains out.
Well, I know a bloke who reckons he got fit doing that by just standing it while he's playing his Xbox.
I met somebody who said, you just get one of those, if you stand on it, you just become incredibly toned.
But you know what, it is good for you, for warming up and warming down, Jeremy.
You really are taking this seriously, aren't you?
Well, you've got to get the lactic acid out your muscles. Am I right, girls? Yeah. That was the worst response I've ever had.
Yeah. Who said yeah?
2 girls.
Was it you? You said yeah.
Have you
got any lactic acid? He doesn't even know whether she's got lactic acid. Why am I still out of breath?
Because you're an old bloke who drives everywhere when he could walk.
I can tell you don't like cars because I've got a list of your past car history.
Yeah.
MG Metro.
Yeah, that's my first car, yeah.
Cavalier. That was James's first car, a Cavalier L.
Mine was a hatchback, so I could sleep in it.
Which hatchback?
Classic.
Was it the 205?
I have no idea, it was red. That car, what was brilliant about that one was that...
Which one?
The Cavalier, was the starter went on it. So I had to have a piece of wood and a brick that I carried with me all the time, because, you know, I could fix it, but, you know, it's trouble, innit? What I used to do, I had to put the bit of wood and smash it.
On the starter mode?
Yeah, to get it started. But the trouble was, though, at the time, I was quite young and I kept getting stopped by the cops. So every time they stopped me, they'd look in the car and see a brick and a bit of wood, and they'd go, "Are you burgling?" And I go, "No, it's look." And I'd have to demonstrate how I started the car. They'd take my details, and then they go, "No, that's fine. Off you go." Then I'd have to get the brick and the wood out again and smash it, and then drive off.
Be allowed to set off. Because all these cars met with terrible ends, didn't they?
Yes.
Largely.
Yeah, what happened to the MG? That I opened. Well, I smashed the mirror. What's that thing? Mirror.
Yeah.
Off the side mirror thing. And I don't know. I don't work in a parts shop, do I? The mirror. Smashed that off, and then I opened the door because I didn't look to see what was coming, and an illegal minicab took the door off. Literally, just took the door off. But because he wasn't licensed, he panicked, and I went, "Just go," and he went. So I just got the door and just jammed it back on, and then tied it with string.
Well, that's what they did in the factory, didn't they?
Yeah. And then, so it then meant I had to get in through the passenger side, and I always had to have the window open a little bit. So, and everything on it was dented. And
Why did you have to have the window open a little bit?
Because I had to tie the string to keep the door shut.
I see.
Because it had all been completely
Got you now.
So yeah, so that got smashed. I had an Astra van. I smashed that into it scrapes one of them bollard things. Smashed that.
Cavalier?
Cavalier did all right. It was a bit dented, but...
Bit dented. The 205, was that a rabbit?
Yeah. Hit a rabbit and got into a bit of a swerve, and then the thing started to weave, and I thought, I'll just go with it. And it hit the barrier at the side, and just sort of, it was going sideways, and it kind of went up a bit, and the front of the car came off. And I was facing the wrong way down the motorway, and I thought, that's not good. And I thought, clever, you see. I thought, I'll turn the lights on, so it's dark, obviously, oncoming vehicles will see that there's a car in the road. And I went, all right, I turned on, and then I realised that the battery in most of the car was about 500 metres away. Well, that's not good, so I legged it.
Have you ever sold a car?
No, never.
Never?
Never.
They just smashed to
They
pieces?
literally, I either run them into the ground or I just smash them to pieces.
To be honest, your first attempt was really very poor indeed. Anybody want to see the clip? Yeah? Let's have a look. Here it is. This is the first one.
Oh yeah, now, watch this, right? Now you're saying...
Never. We've never had that before.
Can I just point out, bikes only go one way. What
they've got
didn't show
reverse
there
on
was,
them.
I just, after that, I just kept going.
Well, yes, you genuinely got it just in the wrong...
No, you know what it was? I put it in, it was in reverse, and because he said, right, reverse up onto the line, put it in there like that. I thought, right, okay. And I thought, I better put that into first gear. And I was, all right, blah, blah, blah. And then...
You forgot.
And I forgot.
Aha.
In fact, at one point, the Stig freaked me out, right? Because the Stig and one of the producers, right, I'm sat in the car ready to go, and I look across, and the Stig stood there with his arms folded, looking at the tyre going...
He does that to unnerve people. He does. When you left Vancouver and you went to Los Angeles, you had a Jeep. Even that went wrong.
Yeah. I did, yeah. I moved to Los Angeles, and I drove, I had an old Jeep YJ. I drove it there. I got there. I parked it. I went into my seedy, just STD-infested hotel room and got in there, put my stuff down, came back out, and the car was gone. It was stolen.
That quickly?
That quickly, yeah. I think that people have, like, there's like a series of people with walkie-talkies in LA that just announced that a dumb Canadian's driving through, let's get him. So they did, and my Jeep was gone, and I actually went walking down the block a couple hours later, and I found it. They'd stolen the doors. I don't know why, but that's what they wanted. They wanted the doors. They stole my doors. So I drove around for 6 months in Los Angeles without any doors. at all. And it would be terrible because it would be, you know, in the wintertime it would just be pouring rain, and I would be driving to these auditions, you know, and just tidal waves of water would come through my Jeep before I get there. So, you know, I just show up as like, you know, the guy like in a t-shirt looking like I'm, you know, just nipples akimbo. You know, what am I doing here? Yeah, terrible.
Well, but you could audition for a submarine movie. That's about, yeah.
And I couldn't, I went looking around, I was going to try to buy new doors, but I couldn't afford them. And then about 6 months later, I got a job, and I found a place that sold used auto parts. And I found some doors that looked very much like the doors that were stolen from my car. So I bought them, and I think what I did was I bought my own doors.
I've just thought of another thing that you've got going for you. You're not even American, are you?
No.
I mean, actually, but Canadian. Although, is there a Canadian here?
Wow. Hi. How are you? Oh, I know you. You're the other one.
You live in Hollywood now.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So I'm guessing there's a Toyota Prius on the drive.
I did. I used to have one.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a greenie. You know, I like green cars. I drive an electric car. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody went, yay.
Yeah.
We're going to come and unplug it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Is it the Nissan Leaf?
It's the Leaf. Yeah. Just Leaf.
The Prius that you had, because I was talking last week to Matt LeBlanc about the American need to modify every car you buy and change it.
Yeah.
Did you modify your Prius?
Well, I didn't, you know, slam it and put hydraulics in. I wasn't like, you know, I put an 800-pound lithium-ion battery in the back, which I found out later was just wildly dangerous.
You did it?
Yeah, I had a guy.
Oh, had a guy do it.
Yeah. So he could make it an electric car.
So it was entirely electric?
Yes, but like the ass of the bumper dragged on the cement as you drove around. I mean, it really was the law of diminishing returns right from the get-go.
So that's gone now. Excuse me, I have a cold.
Fine. That's all right.
So the Leaf, does it work there? Because I'm fascinated. If somebody rings you up from Vegas and says, hey, come over, it's going to take you 2 days to get there.
No, you don't drive that car far. I mean, it goes 100 miles on a charge, so you drive it, you know, in and around, you know, the city. And
so what do you do if you have to go to Las Vegas?
If you have to go to Las Vegas, you get on an airplane.
But if you're green, aren't you a fan of hydrogen then?
No, I don't think it's. I'm personally not big on driving around a bomb.
You can store it on graphite.
I know, but I don't trust the whole thing, and it's also not as green as I think electric. I'm more behind electric cars. I just think
it would be electric, just that the electricity would come from hydrogen bubbling through a membrane.
It would come from a car that also dubs as a supernova. Yeah, I don't.
No, but petrol's quite explosive.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, I'm driving home and I think I've got a bomb in the bar.
But contrary to popular belief, it will not blow up no matter what. I mean, you
can shoot
probably.
a car.
Yeah, you could probably throw a lit match into the gas tank. Don't do that. But probably could. Yeah.
I'm going to do that afterwards to James's Fiat Panda just to see if it blows up. Up and around afterwards. Yeah. Now, you're a big fan, I understand, of Britain actually, but British comedy in particular. Is that right?
Correct.
Which Benny Hill, because that's always popular in Germany, or more up to date? What's your favourite British comedies that you...
At the moment, I'm quite into How Not to Live Your Life.
Harry Enfield's another one of your...
Yes, yeah.
Harry
There's a very good German impersonation, so...
Which one? Oh.
Jürgen the German, do you know?
Was he the one that went, I'm struggling now. What did he say?
You say that I could give it a try because...
Well, you got the accent right. Is it?
That's what I was getting at. So he's at this bus station. I don't know, but if you got time.
Yeah.
He's at this bus station, and there's this Englishman, very smart, you know, very nicely dressed, and there comes the German with the funny jacket and the white socks, and he comes to this bus station and he's wondering why the bus is late. So I'm Jürgen. Why is the bus not on time? And then he goes a bit crazy, and in the end he's going absolutely crazy. This would have never happened under the German control, you know. Even Mussolini made the buses run on time, you know.
That's very good. Does it extend to British music as well, your love affair of here, or not?
No, I like David Hasselhoff only, so.
And the Scorpions.
And this,
I can't whistle. I've lost.
I was so confused. You know, obviously racing now for an English team. Everyone thought I'm a huge David Hasselhoff fan. Apparently, that's what all the British people think about the Germans, that we love
David
the Hoff.
Hasselhoff, Benny Hill, and
Yeah,
the Scorpions.
I mean, we know the Hoff,
And
but
Berlin.
it's not my generation anymore. You know, I'm not looking for freedom anymore. So
It's a Baywatch thing. So is it the Beatles?
yeah, I love the Beatles.
Really?
Yes, yeah. It's a shame there's no new stuff coming, but I guess
Have you not heard?
not much we can do. So
No, one of them's gone. Now, cars, you rode cars. I gather your first car wasn't actually a car at all. It was a, what's the word, moped.
yes, obviously I was not old enough to have the driver's license yet.
The actual car with four wheels and
I
styling.
had the first one I had was a BMW X3. It's
Oh.
the first car.
Ghastly.
It was not so bad. The only difficulty was to park, you know,
And it looked like a genital wart. And it couldn't go off-road. It was horrible, the X3. Is that why you
It was
left?
quite cool, you know, I was 18. It was quite cool.
I only like having herpes. It's not cool to have herpes, just so you know.
What was your first car?
My first car,
Yeah.
Ford Cortina, 1600E. You weren't even
No
a
herpes.
fetus when
No
that-
herpes. No herpes, I guess.
No, it was superb. It had a
Because
wooden...
you were not, you know, it wasn't really bling, so you were not pulling the chicks. No herpes, yeah?
Actually, I put fur on the dashboard and a picture of Debbie Harry in the middle of the steering wheel.
Who's that? Sorry.
It's like JLS, only much more talented and better looking.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know what JLS is. Do you know what JLS is?
So,
Does anyone here know what JLS is?
Jack the Lad Swing.
What?
Jack the Lad Swing.
See, I would have thought you'd have known that. Too busy. Perhaps you've gone deaf with all your motor. Is it loud?
with all the Hoff in the park.
Is it loud in those cars?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Can you actually hear it if you've got ear things in?
Yeah, I have, and I do have actually some padding around as well, because otherwise it's quite loud. And what people don't know, to optimize our shifts, you know, the point when you upshift, I had a couple of, in my lap early on,
Oh, in our
I had a
car?
couple of misshifts, because it's manual, you know, it's much easier with our pedal shift. But we have to you know, to get the timing right, every shift we get a beep.
Oh, to tell you to change gear?
Yeah, so you're not relying on the lights and only the feeling, you also have the beep.
Can I just ask, before we get on to the lap, have you... It does that?
Yeah, on top of the engine noise, obviously.
That would drive me up the wall.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
I woun't. I'd just rip somebody's ears off for doing that. Beeping. It's like those cars that bong when you open the door to remind you you've
I hate
opened the
that.
door.
I hate that as
I
well.
know I've opened the door, I just did it.